I'm Ode. That's Vicky. I'm me. You're you. We are we.
Oh my god, that was
That's
so
cheesy,
corny.
right? The You, Me,
Oh my
We
goodness.
podcast.
Welcome back to the You, Me, We podcast, episode 37. So it's been like 2 weeks since we've uploaded, 3 weeks since we recorded, kind of thing.
It's been a while since we recorded. Because it wasn't the last episode pre-recorded?
Mm-hmm.
So it's... No, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. That was Reggie and Lacey. And that was actually recorded 2 weeks prior to airing it.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely haven't recorded in a while. So tonight, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good segue. So we haven't recorded us communicating. No?
Sure.
Go ahead. Introduce what we're going to talk about tonight. Or are we missing anything? Did we wrap up? Did we recap what we've been doing?
I don't even
It's been so
remember.
long, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
So tonight, just like you heard Ode talk about, it's about communication,
Mm-hmm.
or at least our journey through communication so far. What do you think of it?
I'm trying to put this on me. This is you. I told you I'm following your lead. Communication and us. Communication in general. First thing I thought about when you said, "Hey, let's talk about communication." I thought about how we. What I remember your preference for arguing. First, I'm letting you know what I thought about. Like, I know early on, like your preference for arguing used to be through text.
Yes,
And
that's still my preference.
calm down. You got a little spice in your voice just now. Your shoulders were kind of up a little bit.
Oh, cause I'm ready to defend that. Go ahead.
There's nothing to defend. I was just
Cause I know you hate that.
I was just letting you know what why so defensive? Or
Cause I know you don't like that.
you all the smoke you want. Jeez. I was just trying to let you know, hey, here's a thought that came into my mind. He was just like, let's fight. Jeez.
No.
Women these days, my goodness.
Whatever.
So as I was saying, the first thing I thought about was that because I remember asking you, what do you want to talk about when it comes to communication? Like preferences of how to communicate, you know, what works and what doesn't. So I thought about that. Didn't say I wanted you to defend it or I was coming at you. I just letting you know what I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, for some people works and doesn't. I think at times for us it has worked. Opting to communicate through text instead of like verbally to each other. I feel like that's worked sometimes. That's been an interesting thing about our communication journey.
I think it's because we've always been communicating via messages of some sort from the beginning.
Uvu?
All of that.
No. I'm just thinking back. The beginning was Uvu. Yeah, that's like
Facebook.
Facebook? Yeah. But most of our private one-on-one chats back in the day was
It was not even like that.
yes it was.
No, it was not.
10 years later.
So?
All thanks to Uvu. Shout out to Uvu. But we used to talk a lot through Uvu. So I guess, that was the foundation of our communication.
Yeah, it was always via messages.
Yeah. And you took it too far and you just wanted to keep arguing through Uvu. I'm joking. So I mean, that's what came to mind.
Okay.
Just that whole messenger tech aspect of our communication preference, or the foundation of our communication being that, and it's still there a lot.
It is.
When it comes to how we communicate. I'm not saying how we argue, but it's how we communicate. We communicate more through messenger because sometimes we'll be in the same house, in the same room, messaging each other. Not because of technology, just because it's probably better that way. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, technology, kids these days. Nah, sometimes you just don't want to verbally talk to the person literally laying next to you. And you know what? Let me just send them a DM. Not even a Facebook Messenger. Hopefully they check their DM and they'll see it.
What are you talking about yesterday?
Yesterday? You sent me a DM?
No.
What happened yesterday?
Yesterday when we were talking and then I came upstairs and started sending you a message via Hangout. And then you just came upstairs.
Did I ignore your message?
Oh, I thought you saw it. No, you totally saw it because you came upstairs to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So you sent me like
we were talking about it downstairs.
Yeah.
And then I came upstairs.
And you sent me like
and I sent him a message.
You sent me like a follow up.
Yeah, and then you just came up behind me and you were like, "Wait, hold on."
Here, wait. Was that your like? Was that whole like that meme that says when you're arguing with somebody and you remember something you had to say? Is that what that was?
No, that's not what it was. It was that you had really irritated me in that moment, and I wanted to just tell you what I had to tell you, but not have it come off in a way that showed that I was very irritated. Like I just wanted to get a message across, but I knew that verbally giving it to you, you wouldn't have received it in the way that I intended you to have received it, I guess.
Why do you feel that way?
Like the tone in my voice would have been way off to what I was trying to say. Like the tone, wow, Jersey.
The tone in my voice.
The tone in my voice is just because I was
Dominican.
Annoyed.
What?
It's because I was annoyed by you. But I think what I had to say was a valid point, and I didn't want that to get lost in translation.
You know what's crazy though? But I think the text made me more upset than anything. I was just like, did she really just message me this? And here's what I even had a response later on. Well, you probably wouldn't have seen it. I didn't send it, but I definitely sent you a similar. I started to type a similar text like, well, you know what irritates me, blah 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 blah, blah. And it was along the same line. I was like, no, let me stop, because you know what? It's nighttime. I'm about to go to bed. Let me not even bother. But I definitely had. It literally was like it started the exact same way.
So now you're going to have to tell me what it was about.
Damn, what was it?
So you were just responding to be petty?
Not to be petty, but it was relevant to the conversation.
Because you were annoying me yesterday with your...
Welcome to my life.
Do you want to go through right now? And I'm like, no. I've already communicated that to you like 5 times in the 10 seconds you've been up here. Like, okay, but I'm not ready to do that right now.
Well... Are we talking about communication still? Or are we talking... Because we can go on a tangent right now. Okay, but
I mean, I think this is but we've learned, right? I feel that yesterday was, and I think the day before as well, was a good indication of our communication improving. Because I feel like that's something everyone has to work on, because you grow up with people in your life.
Come at me when you said you.
No. Like you grow up with people in your life 24/7, and you still don't know how to communicate with them. So the chances that you know how to communicate with someone so well in a relationship, no matter how many years you've been together, I mean, that's just not realistic. How many people have, you grew up, your mom. How many people can really communicate with their moms?
You still
perfectly, and she's been in your life. She's been in your life the whole time.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? When you think about it now, who are the people you communicate the best with?
My like-minded friends.
Your like-minded.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Because our train of thought is exactly the same, or is similar. So there's things that I don't feel like I have to explain to someone. Like your train of thought is different from my train of thought. So I feel that I have to explain to you from the very bottom all the way to the top, from how it started with me and how it got to where it is for me, for you to understand where I'm coming from. My friends, we all get it. Like, I'm just like, oh, and I was upset. And they'd be like, yo, I feel you. Like, yeah, that would, like, I don't have to explain all of that. I could just start from, like, the top half and just finish the story. And then they'll just understand the whole foundation of it, of where the annoyance or irritability or whatever came from. Like, they'll understand it.
I think the reason why I asked that was because while you were saying, like your mom, how many of us actually have good communication with our moms? And everyone listening is like, you're right. Not me. I was trying to think, like, is it that I have, thinking for myself, I have easier time communicating with people I don't talk to as often. But the people you talk to, like, often 24/7, those are the ones you clash with communication-wise.
It is because you don't speak to those people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get caught in the nuances of communicating with them.
Or are we just...
your conversations are so on the surface.
When you're talking to...
people you don't
talk to too often. Okay.
Your conversations are so on the surface that the nuances of communicating with that person, you're never going to know because your conversations are so just on the top. Your deep-rooted conversations with people that you communicate with constantly, those are the ones that, like, 3 words in and you're like, I can't. I cannot.
You know what?
I'm over this.
You know what messes up communication? And related to us as well. When you already got, like, a view of that person.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You're automatically like, what he got to say? What she got? Go ahead. I'm listening.
You're not really listening.
But in your head, you're like, she's about to say some dumb stuff.
Yeah, you're like not really listening. You're just hearing them. You're just hearing for when they're no longer talking so that you can just say whatever you want.
Because there's definitely times for both of us when the other person's probably saying, hi, how are you? But all you hear is wah, 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 wah. We're like, but the person just said something very calm, very nice.
That happens to us all the time.
But either because we were either angry at the moment or already just angry at the person or just not in a good mood, we already have blocked the person out or blocked the other person out. And I say we, talking about us again. So even though you might have just wanted, even though you might have just wanted to come tell me what irritated you, I definitely probably would have been like, she's nagging, or I would have heard it like, oh. Even though I still kind of read your text that way, I read the message like, she's serious right now. I'm about to go up there and give her a piece of my mind.
I knew it because your face. I was just like, oh, God.
You know what's one thing about communication?
But it had to be said.
And what I was going to text you had to be said, too. But
you can't even remember, so it's not even that important.
I remember what it was.
What was it?
It had to do with, because the thing that you told me, no, it was because you brought up, you was like, well, we should do this. And in my head, I was like, you know what irritates me? The fact that I've been asking you to do this, God knows how many times. But now that you're ready to do it, we got to do this. So I was going to text you, like, you know what irritates me? The fact that I've asked you to, I typed all of it, whatever. Anyways, woman. Anyways.
I saw all that coming, so I was ready with the response.
What was your response going to be?
My response was...
Wait. Do you want to just give people the full story of this argument so you know what we're talking about?
It's fine. If they want to know, they can ask.
All right, ask us in the comments.
Yeah. So my response... No,
I don't want to... If we're not going to talk more deeply about it, then there's no point in game.
Well, no, I can tell you really quick.
Go ahead.
My response would have been...
Well, I'm ready to do it now.
See, that's what you think.
That's what I would go in thinking when you're probably trying to tell me something.
My response is, while I completely understand what you're saying, I believe that us doing this together will null any future arguments with regards, which I think it's true.
We ain't doing that together. After I've been asking you for years, now it's time for us to do it together.
Yes, it's important that we do it together. So that way we know where things are at the same time. We know, okay, look, we're deciding to put this right here. And this is where it will go. Always.
And when she says this, she's talking about all of her Amazon and Pinterest purchases and ideas that are all in bins downstairs. So these several different dish racks, the several different things that... Oh, we have new dish racks now because the other ones that she bought that were better than the last ones that are better than the last one. So these are all the things that are in boxes. Why am I looking here? These are all the things that are in boxes that we have to now go through together, even though I've asked several times for the past
That is
2 years.
not what I was referring to.
What were you referring to?
I was referring to us finding places to put things
So
that we both have access to.
Okay, so after you go through everything else, then we will find places. We're going off topic right now, Vicky. So let's accept your loss in this.
This is a perfect example of how I was trying to communicate a certain thing to you, and you are stuck on what your issue is with me with regards to the problem. And I'm here like, okay, well, let's try to find the solution for us together. And you're like, yeah, the solution is you need to go handle your stuff.
Yeah, that's the solution.
But it's like, no, we're both a problem to it.
No, I mean,
yeah,
tomato.
We both contribute to the issue. But that's the point of communication, right? That's the issue with our communication. That
you know what's the most
we're
annoying?
Too focused on placing the blame that we don't. That's it. We're just focused on placing blame in the conversation.
The blame needs to be placed.
But what's the point of it?
So people know when they're wrong.
But if the person knows,
then we
and
can
you're
move
still,
forward.
But when are you pleased?
But do you know? I would be pleased when
I
they
were off topic.
When I feel like I think she knows she's wrong.
We're off topic.
Oh, now we're off topic.
Because you're talking about blame, and that's not.
Anyway.
So what is it about communication that really bothers you?
It really bothers me.
That's what you were saying.
I can't remember now.
Wow, that's incredible. So what I
No, go ahead.
So what I was really wanting to talk about with this topic, right, was our journey through the whole communication. I think that more recently, I could be jinxing it, but you know what? I rather live in the glory of the few instances recently of us having successful communication, I feel, and not experiencing it for like a while again. I'm okay jinxing it.
I think what you're going to say is actually triggered my memory because I think it's relevant to what you're going to say. Go ahead.
I think that you have to I feel like you have to cross a threshold in trying to like learn how to communicate with another person. I think we want it to be magical and that everything just snaps into place and we totally understand each other, even though we do. I feel like when we're in public we can like communicate without having to talk.
I know what you're talking about. Where were we? I remember where you were. No, because when it's ignorant stuff.
Oh no, I speak that language
because we understand each other. Yeah.
But it's not only that; it's just like a bunch of stuff. I feel that we have. So I guess in social settings we have great communication, but when it's just us, then it's real. Like my sister, actually I was speaking to her earlier and she was saying like, you know, she's like, you want to know where you are with someone on communication and your comfort level with them and just like how well you guys talk or speak with one another. She's like, go out to eat with them, no phones, no distractions, and see how well you guys do. She's like, and if it's awkward silence, then that is what you guys are, awkward silence. And that would, you know, like it's a clear indication of what needs to be worked on. I think that was actually really good. I didn't even think about that.
How do you feel about, I'm going to get back to that, but how do you feel about silence?
Are you trying to be funny?
No. I'm being serious.
Oh, how do I feel about silence by myself?
No, like two people. With us. Like
I hate silence with us. I don't mind silence with other people.
I know that.
I hate silence with them.
There's times when we'll be silent and you'll start talking and in my head I'm like, yo, she's looking for something to say right now. Because I was like, yo, she did not have a thought. She's looking for a thought and a topic that she can say something. I was like,
well, the reason why is because I'm trying to force communication. And we weren't really communicating. So that's why I don't like silence.
And the reason why I ask, because I always think about the saying that I have between one of my brothers and I. And it's not just our saying. It's it's a known saying, whatever. It's true brotherhood comes when silence amongst two brothers is comfortable. And I feel like some people can't do that. People who have been friends forever, people who have been married forever, in relationships forever, the moment they're silent, it's like it's awkward, it's uncomfortable, and some people honestly can't be silent around each other, because they don't know what to do. And sometimes it's having to do with when the TV or the phones are off and stuff. Now it's what do we do? But then there's some that just silence. They're like they get nervous or whatever. So it just made me think of that when you said awkward silence. And then, like I said, there's times where I feel like, she didn't have anything to say. She just wanted to find something to say.
It's not that I don't feel comfortable in silence. I would feel comfortable in silence with you. We're not there. I mean, I don't even know how to sugarcoat that. It's a nice message.
Man, you know how comfortable I am when you're not talking. I mean, when we're silent with each other.
No. We're not there for me to be comfortable with us being silent. Like, we're just not. So I don't feel comfortable with it.
Are there times when you just don't want to be talked to? I think that's my thing. And that's why I get annoyed sometimes when you want to talk and only because this happened today. Even though it was important, there's certain times for me that I cherish that 15-20 minute drive home from work. I cherish it because it's my first secluded time of the day, and not just you. It'll be like my mom sometimes. I'll get in the car and it's always when I'm because of course too I always have a podcast playing or something like that. So as soon as the podcast just randomly cuts off in the car, I'm I look at my phone. I'm like, this shit better not ring or something better not pop up. And I mentioned today only because it was important. We actually did have to talk to organize who was picking up the kids and stuff. But there's times I'll be I just want silence right now. But then you'll call. And I'm just just wanted silence. And it'll just be where you at? I'm just can I just have my 15-20 minute drive home in silence?
Because you don't take the 15-20 minutes. No. I'm going to tell you why. Because you'll have the 15-20 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. But then you'll come home and then you'll want the 3-4 hours of silence. And it's bro, seriously?
Do you know what you've had for most of the day? Hours of silence as well. You've had it. I'm not saying I got to have it all the time, but you've had those hours of silence sometimes. Those hours of uninterrupted time. So are we going to go on a tangent right now? So that's why sometimes I might come home and
sometimes. Not. That's the problem.
I need you to throw some respect on the people like me who don't have those hours of uninterrupted. And the only time they get sometimes is that 15 minutes. While you've had more than 15 minutes. But that's a luxury you have awarded yourself. Congrats. Anyways, that's kind of why I used to taking the train and bus from work. Because you could read and do stuff like that.
You can still take the bus to work. It's up the street.
I grew up in New York. Mm-hmm. Took the bus and train for years and years.
You just said you liked it, so find your time there.
No, I have a car now. I'm not going back to that if I don't have to. Okay. It was comfortable, but you know what? I like being able to leave when I'm ready to leave and with my automobile. But continue. You were saying about us now?
Mm-hmm. What about it?
You were saying it.
When?
I don't know if I like the tone of your voice. I'm sorry. The tone. Are we going to argue after this?
Maybe.
Nah, I got stuff to do. Uninterrupted, hopefully.
But, you'll be uninterrupted.
Yeah, she says that now. You want to text me? You going to message me? You know what's irritating me? Come on. Focus here. Focus.
It's hard to focus when you just said that sometimes you come home and you need that extra time for yourself. Sometimes.
It's recorded. You don't have to repeat
it. It's every day. It's every day.
Good observation. Can you stay on topic now?
I just need
You're making this awkward for our listeners.
I just need you to stay factual is my thing.
You're making it awkward for our listeners right now.
I'm not making it awkward.
They came here to hear a podcast about communication, and you're going off on a tangent.
Okay.
What is your favorite part about our communication journey?
My favorite part is...
Be mature.
My favorite part is... I don't have one.
Wow. Okay. My favorite
It's been
part...
a struggle.
My favorite part and most annoying part is when we do get it right, and not the organic times, the times when we clearly put an effort towards getting it right. And I say it's the most annoying because it's very like not that it's not organic, but it's very okay. We need to have this talk, and it's very like planned out. Again, I like when it does go well, but there is part of me just like we got to have this structured conversation now. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Those times when we'll sit down and it's like we're both making that like extra effort to like, let me choose my words, or we'll say something and we'll say,
those are my favorite.
Or we'll say something and be like, I'm not angry. I'm just saying what I feel. And we're like sometimes, or we might say something angry that sounds angry. We're like, you know what? I didn't mean it that way. Hold on. let me plan. What am I trying to say? And then the other person will be like, no, just say it and then work it out as you go along. I'm like, because it's like we're having this scripted, structured conversation. Again,
it's not really scripted, but it's more like a structure.
Yeah. Again, it's
the PC.
Yeah. So I like it because it's us working towards better communication, and I hate it because it's annoying to do. Like, because part of me is like, oh, why can't this be organic? But then it won't be.
That's not real.
I know.
That's not real. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, communication, working on your communication with your significant other is not something that's organic. Like, it's something that takes work. And it's something that takes practice. And the only time it's organic, it's after you've put in the time and the work. That's when it's organic.
So do you not believe those couples that be like, oh my gosh, we're
so in full of shit. That is so full of shit.
It's like, oh my God, we're like so in sync. We're always.
Oh, you're so like. Tell me, okay, how are people so in sync? You come from different families, right? Different experiences in life.
Liars.
Like, how are you so completely in sync? Or you're either not just being for real about everything that you're feeling.
They're probably still in the honeymoon phase when they're saying that stuff.
Yeah, because we were in sync at one point. Or we thought we were in the beginning. Like, oh, I totally feel you. Oh, my God, yeah.
You were just trying to get in my pants.
Real life was like, come here, bro. So, I also feel that with time, it gets harder. I mean, as dumb as that sounds, but I feel that with time, it gets harder to communicate with the person that you're with because we change.
Yeah.
We grow.
You get annoyed.
There's things that start to irritate the shit out of you about the other person.
Something as simple as the tone they talk in.
Oh, my God. I can tell you what drives me nuts.
Your mic's on.
That you do.
Your microphone's on.
Wait, something that you do that it will set the mood for like the next 20 minutes. And anything you tell me like within the next 20 minutes, I am already irritated by you.
Go ahead. What is it? I'm trying to think what it might be.
These are things that, hinder your communication with your significant other. You chose something that I did, didn't you?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think which one to pick.
But this is an example of ways that your communication starts to like
all slouching.
Not fall apart, but it starts to take blows. So Ode will suck his teeth. I mean, I feel this is such a like Caribbean thing. It just annoys me, but he sucks his teeth about everything. And to me, that's a sign of I'm annoyed. Like that. I
A suck teeth is like it's like a noun. It's a verb. It just means different things.
Right, but I'm telling you what it
could be
means.
A good thing.
Right, but I'm telling you what it means to me. So when you
joking,
just did
joking,
it. So when he does that, I will hear it. Ode could be in like the opposite side of the house. It's not even a big house, but we have like 3 livable floors, I guess. If you count the basement and the attic.
Look how the 1% be living.
No, I'm saying, but if you're like in the basement on the one side and I'm in the attic on the other side, I can hear you suck
echo.
your teeth. Oh my goodness. And so anything you tell me, I'm already like, what's your problem? Like, I'm already annoyed because that's how I perceive that. To me, that's a sound you make when you're annoyed.
Okay.
Or like when you sigh. It's when you do things like that where you're not even doing it to me that I'm already like, I don't even want to hear what he got to say. In the next like 20 minutes, I need time to pass for him to say anything to me. Because I'm already on the defense. Like, I'm like, oh, that was about me. I'm ready to defend myself. But it's things like that will take a hit on your communication.
Yeah.
As you stay with someone and you grow with them, that you start to notice different things that annoy you, where it's like it's not directed at me, but I hear it and it already sets a tone. And it already puts me in a mind space, and so I feel that does hinder your communication.
Nah, I hear you.
Or your ability to successfully communicate.
That's me when you say, "Can we talk?"
Well, I don't think anybody takes that in a way that makes them feel good.
Yeah. For me, wait.
But can we talk? How else would you? What's another way to rephrase that?
You got a minute? No. No. I think for me, it's the tone I hear it in. This is us having the PC conversation. I'm not saying the tone you say it in. It's the tone that I acknowledge that I am hearing it in. Because sometimes I hear it as, can we talk about this thing that is annoying me, bothering only me? You're not being bothered by it right now, but it is bothering me. But I want to put this burden on you and blame you. No. I'm just saying that's
how you hear it.
That's the tone, yeah. Because it's usually, I'll be honest, it's something that I am either not aware of or not aware that I did this or caused this or I'm causing this. So I'll be like, we're about to have a conversation about something that's not relevant or something that's not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in like, oh my God, she's about to, and then usually in my head, I'm doing something more important.
This is the PC.
Right? I'm doing something more important. So in my head, I don't have time for your bullshit. So I'm just using words to describe what I'm feeling at those moments. But yeah, I'll be sitting there like, yo, I got this thing to do. Like, I don't want to talk. So automatically, I'm just like, go ahead. That's me. I'm like, not even realize I suck my teeth.
See?
No, I'm saying that's what I'll do.
No,
I'll be like,
and
go ahead.
That's why.
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy because I feel like as you are with someone, you should be able to communicate with them better.
Yeah.
So I feel like those problems should be in the beginning.
In the beginning?
Yeah, like I feel like your communication problems should be in the beginning because you guys don't know each other. You don't know how you communicate.
You're not even face it. You're doing the whole like you're listening. You're considerate.
You're super aware. You're super attentive, and then it just like all dissipates, and then
because that person starts to annoy the hell out of you, and you're just like, why am I being on PC with this person? Let me give them a piece of my mind.
Yeah, that first time you give them a piece of your mind, that's it. That's it. So that, like, I think it was yesterday we were talking about something.
Us?
Yes, over the phone.
Okay.
I can't remember if we were discussing over the phone, like, via text, or if we were talking in person, but you were already in bed with the baby. And we definitely, it wasn't an argument, but it was a disagreement. But I can't remember what it was, but then you made a joke, like right after. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I think that was the first time in a long time that's happened.
Was it when you asked me, I think you asked me to come upstairs or something?
Yeah, you made a joke about that.
I did make a joke.
So,
I just remember the joke.
But prior to that,
it was an adult joke.
There was a conversation. Oh, was that the conversation? No.
No, it was because you asked me to.
Was that when we were discussing the attic? Was that the same night?
I don't know. I can't remember. But I do know what you're talking about.
So I think it was the same night as the attic.
But go ahead.
So it was the first time because you left. I was still up here. You left on your face. You were very annoyed by the whole thing. So that's when you said you were typing it and you were like,
yeah.
Nah. Yeah, it was right after the whole attic situation.
Okay.
So when you made that joke, I was like, oh, that was a first. Where it was like, where we were obviously annoyed with each other about the situation. But then I asked you like a simple question, like, hey, I need help, whatever. And then you made a joke.
Oh,
I was like,
yes, you did need my help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I guess he's over it. That's the first. That's a first. Like, that's never happened before. Like, to me, it was like, you making that joke was like, all right, that situation was dead and done.
Sure, it wasn't me. Like, how do I shut her up right now? No. But I know what you know what it is, and it kind of goes into that conversation that we had a while back, episode like 4 or 5, like how we argue,
Yeah,
or how we fight, whatever. And in no way am I saying we got the remedy, we got the recipe of how to do it right, how to argue right.
Because
no
everything
way,
is different for
but
everyone.
There have been instances, I would say, where even though we are in like a heated argument or whatever, I think we both know or are aware that this is in a bubble. This argument is in a bubble. I'm not gonna like hate her for after it. This argument is like it's an isolated incident argument.
Yeah.
So I can make a joke like right after. I think that's what that was, and that's why I was able to like make a comment afterwards that was totally opposite from the heated discussion we were having. I felt like it was like an isolated heated discussion that wouldn't really trickle over into anything else or last long. So as soon as it was done, I was done being annoyed or upset.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a good. But this is again me being hopeful, and I'm probably jinxing it. But I feel that all arguments or disagreements are isolated incidents.
Or not, but sometimes that isolation lasts. That isolated incident spans a week.
Yeah, now because we're working on communication, but I feel like once it's organic, it's not something that will be lasting days or weeks or whatever.
Do you think we have gotten better at communicating when we do not want to communicate at the moment? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because like lately, we've been doing the whole like I just need space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and I think
did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
We're doing better at communicating when we're not in a proper state to communicate.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to pat myself on the back on that one.
Oh, okay. Take all credit.
No. Because I've never been able to do that. I'm kind of more of that. I'm upset right now. We're going to talk about this right now. We're going to solve it right now kind of thing.
Yeah.
And lately, I feel that it's been more. Remember you asked me the other day, like, are you upset? And I was like, I am, but I just don't feel like I'm in the right space to really communicate to you exactly what it is without. I don't know exactly what I said, but I did say it clear enough for you to understand. Like, I just need to.
That reminds me of
back up.
Anytime somebody says something like that, it reminds me of a friend of mine from high school. I think he was having a bad day, and a couple of us, we noticed it, and we still kind of pushed. We were like, yo, what's going on? And he was like, yo, not today. I'm in my fighting mood right now. And that was his way of saying, yo, leave me alone right now. I'm in my fighting mood. No.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, he's not up for talking right now, and we gave him his space. Hopefully he didn't go beat somebody up. But shout out to you. I'm sure some people listening know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I think we've definitely been doing that lately. And I know recently I felt like, you know what? She took some time.
Oh,
she
you
needed
were
space.
so.
So you know what?
But we never rediscussed that whole situation. So thank you for reminding me.
Oh, great. Now she doesn't want to have a conversation while I'm doing something important. I think it's just your timing sometimes is what gets me. I'm just like, yo. Because and go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And again, I'm sure that's something that in my head, your timing is like so inappropriate and considerate.
But you never have timing.
In my head, I think you try to have deep conversations with me as I'm walking out the door to a gig. That's how I'm seeing it. Or I'm working on something it's really important when it's actually something that, you know, it's a conversation that could probably take half an hour, but I can make time for it. But sometimes it's like, I don't want to right now. We'll communicate later on when we're both ready to communicate, and we'll just start communicating. That's how I see it sometimes.
But PC. That's not real.
I know. But there's couples out there that say that's how good their communication.
Well, congratulations to them. And I hope that facade never falls apart. It's true.
What would you rank us? What would you rank our communication? Damn. On a scale of 1 to 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a hard 4.
A hard 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel like we were at a 0.
Well, that's your fault. No, you're right. I agree.
I feel like we were at a 0, and I feel that this is a 4 that is growing. Like, yeah. I don't feel that we've been at a 4. I feel like we were at a 2. And prior to that, we were at a -5. And I'm
trying to find the answers myself, but what are we good at communicating? What are we bad at communicating? Like what things do we just have down pat? Like, we can definitely communicate when the other needs to, or when I feel blah blah. But what things that we just can't get right? I would say one is we can't get right the whole. At least from my end, I can't get right the whole like, oh, if I did this, let me let Vicky know, like the argument we had. Let me let Vicky know where I put this thing. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I suck at communicating with you when I do certain things like around the house or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
agreed.
She'll figure it out when when she needs that thing and she asks for it.
That's horrible. But it's true. Yeah. I would say, well, at least that's for you.
Mm-hmm. Now you point out one of your flaws. I'm joking. Go ahead.
I think that I could improve in communicating.
Oh, so you perfect. Oh, okay. You flawless. All right.
No, but I feel that I notice when I'm wrong a lot quicker than you notice when you're wrong.
Okay.
What?
I'm biting my tongue right now.
No, don't. Because
No. I was going to be stupid. I was going to be like, maybe I'm not wrong that often. So
no, you are a lot. But I'm talking about, I notice when you're wrong. But I make it my business to focus on ways that I can improve and not really. I mean, I have suggestions for you too, but I don't make it my business to let you know.
I don't know if I like how you're saying this. I feel like you're prettying up. I'm right and you're always wrong with it.
No. I'm not always right. What I'm saying is that when I'm wrong, I notice quicker when I'm wrong.
Are you quicker to admit it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm quicker to admit it.
Quicker? Are you quick? Generally quick to admit it? Do you feel you're quick to admit when you're wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like when you're not quick to admit you're wrong, I feel like you feel like it's shameful to admit to a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to see it that way, but I don't anymore. I see admitting to a mistake as, I mean, okay, wait, hold on. I need to clarify this.
Communicate. Go ahead.
Okay, when you admit to a mistake wholeheartedly, it's because you see it as an opportunity for growth, but not when you're half-assing an admittance to a mistake.
Okay.
Like, not when you just want to put it on the table and then be like, yeah, this was it. Like, no, all right, yo, my bad. I raised my voice at you. And then the next time, I raise my voice at you again. But if I'm wholeheartedly apologetic about my raising my voice, next time I will be more conscious about, yo, let me make sure that my tone is way down, because I don't want them to think that I'm raising my voice. And if I do, I'll be that much quicker to catch it, until I can really catch it way before it even happens. So I see it as an opportunity for growth. So that's why I do think that I am quicker at admitting when I'm wrong. But I can't say that I can think of something that I can improve on. But I can use a suggestion.
Wow.
I'm open to suggestions. I'm sure there is. I just don't know.
You are something else.
Like what? What would you suggest that I could improve on?
No, you are perfect just the way you are, my queen.
Your eyes and your tone.
My calm tone and my attentive eyes.
Day, please spare me. I know that face, okay? Go ahead. Give me a suggestion.
No, I don't have any.
No, really?
I don't have any right now. Not right now.
For me?
Yeah.
Other than you have poor timing.
Give me my 50 minutes.
Your 15 hours.
I get annoyed at let's have this conversation. Let's structure this. Even though I appreciate it, it's annoying.
Trust me, it's annoying for me too.
Then don't do it. Then don't do it.
But I feel it's the only way we can go through a conversation.
Just wait it out and let it die out.
No.
Just wait a couple days.
You can't let a conversation die out. Yo, that is so important, guys. No, seriously, don't let conversations die out. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, let's let it die out so that we can then, right when it dies, the next day, just have the same conversation all over again. And then we're just going to keep waiting for that one to die out. And then 5 years later, we're still waiting for that same conversation to die out.
Shoot me a text. I'll respond.
That's why we need to force those conversations, because we just need to, we need to talk about it till we feel stupid talking to each other like that, which is what happens.
I agree.
We'll just keep talking, and then one of us will like smirk, like, are you done? and then we're over it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then that conversation is done. But I don't want to generalize.
Here we go again. You're just going to keep throwing shots at me. Go ahead.
Men love to let conversations die out. Mm-hmm. I think we've even told this on our Instagram.
Okay.
That women are more towards, we need to talk about this right now. I agree that maybe we don't need to talk about it right then and there. But I also am not for, let's just let it die out. Like our previous guests, Jezida and Kian.
Shout out to them.
They said that they will just give each other a few hours.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would like us to be able to do that.
Well, a few hours can't be 48?
No. Ideally, I would like for us to do like just a couple hours, like 2 or maybe 3 hours. And then how they said, like, they have a common area where they meet. Mm-hmm. And then they move forward with the conversation. And so in those 3 hours, instead of you keeping yourself busy for the next 2 or 3 days, you know that in 2 or 3 hours, you're going to have to come back and talk to this person. So you'll be a little more focused on trying to find a solution on your own, or maybe clearing up what you have to say, as opposed to filling yourself up with mundane to-dos for the next 3 days, and then hopefully avoiding that conversation.
Can I make a request? That's a baby step.
Sure.
And we can end on applying some of these baby steps. So I'll give one, and you can give one.
Okay.
I believe we've done this, but not consciously, whatever, in this way. So can we establish some common areas, as well as areas where we will not be arguing or having heated conversations? And not to sound petty, but I was like, I don't want to have heated conversations or clearly what my turns or argument in like my studio. Because for me, it's my comfort zone. It's my what we call it, cave.
It's your safe space.
Safe space, man cave, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
And I want to say the bedroom as well, but sometimes we have those conversations while we're like laying in bed. But I want to say the bedroom as well. I don't know. I want to add that as a place where something that we know is gonna turn into a conversation, a heated conversation, or we know we're about to address an argument, whatever that we had. Let's take that out the bedroom and let's take it to the common space.
Okay.
Be it like the living room or the kitchen table.
Okay.
I'm just adding that in. I really just care about not having those conversations in my studio, in my safe space.
So you wanted to come off.
Yeah. See, you know me. Go ahead. No, seriously, but yeah.
Okay, I can agree to that. That's fair.
What is one baby step you would like to start taking so we can learn from this? And then in a month we'll recap and say, you know what? Since then,
we've had 50 arguments.
Vicky has started 4 conversations in my studio while I was doing something extremely important. She didn't give a damn. Go ahead.
Okay, so then instead of can we talk, I'll be like, can you meet me in the living room?
Okay, I'll be like, now? Right now. One baby step you'd like to start implementing.
One baby step is, well, I don't know if this is a baby step, but I'd like to reduce the amount of time that we take.
Okay.
When we need space.
Can we set a max? Let's start with set a max.
What do you mean a max?
As in, like, you can't take no more than a day, no more than 10 hours, no more than...
Okay, I can do a max.
And then we'll work on a minimum.
Okay, I can do a max.
A max? Or should we start with minimum first? What? Right?
No, a max.
See, even though you say you can have some space, you better get this out of your system within the next 15 hours, 10 hours, 2 hours.
Right.
More than 10 hours.
You want a max of more than 10 hours?
Or 10 hours is a max.
Okay.
So that way, if it's at night and I feel I can at least get a good night's sleep. That makes sense, right? For both of us, that makes sense.
I agree with people that say you shouldn't go to bed angry because you never know what's going to happen.
No, man, that's some good sleep, yo. You go to bed knowing that you just shut somebody down and you're avoiding a conversation. Oh, you sleep well.
That is a horrible thing to say.
I've slept comfortable on this on studio couch every once in a while.
Me too. I've slept very comfortable.
Can you please not sleep in my studio? Oh, in the bed. Okay, thank you.
When did I sleep in your studio?
No, that's what you're about to say.
I was gonna say while you're sleeping up here, I've slept wonderfully
words,
comfortable.
Listen, I don't care where you sleep.
In the whole bed.
Okay, so that's your one thing. So what? 10 hours?
You just said 10 hours.
Okay, 10 hours. Okay, 10 hours. 10 hours max.
10 hours max.
Yes. And then we'll revisit this. Let's do it on episode 47.
Okay.
Are we still trying to do a live episode 50?
I don't know.
Or at least a live stream. That for sure. We'll do a live stream of episode 50 on our Instagram.
Sure. We could do a live stream of episode 50.
And then we'll figure out when we want to do like an actual live show.
Mm-hmm.
Someday we'll do a live show.
Sure. Okay, 10 hours, I guess.
Damn. How much? Go ahead. How many hours would you say? 2 to 3?
I would say 5 hours. I think in 5 hours, you should have an enough right state of mind to continue the conversation.
All right. 5 hours.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Well, this is implemented now. Can we get one argument in before that?
No, because I'm going to be up all night doing stuff.
I was joking. I don't have anything to say to you.
Okay.
No, I mean, we are going to discuss. When you say you need a space, but we never went back to it.
Not after this. Okay. It's stuff like that. It's one of those like, hey, I know you got to go do this right after, but let's have to. Like, come on.
Our relationship is more important. That's my point. That's where I stand about the whole thing. Like, I'm just like, Oh, yeah, that was a really that's a deep one. I'll table that.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot what it was about.
So you just wanted to have conversation.
No, but I knew that conversation was never brought up again. So fine. It's pretty deep, so we can table it.
I forgot what it was. Trust me. You want to table
that. Don't.
Ready to rip your head off, just so you know. That's why I needed time, because I knew I was going to come at you with some deep-rooted stuff.
Oh, me too.
And that's why I need to. Oh, okay.
Meet me in the living room.
Boy, living room, kitchen, whatever.
Not whatever, because you said no studio.
I got time. I was offended.
Oh, me too.
Okay. And I was offended by you being offended. That's how deeply rooted it was for me. I was just like, well, you know what? I need time before I say something, if I say the wrong thing.
Okay, so then we'll just pencil this in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And that has been episode 37. Because now I need to go. I'm going to go edit the episode so I can calm down, because you just brought up some emotions that I can't communicate right now.
So does the 5 hours start now?
No. Because 5 hours from now is going to be what, 6 o'clock?
No, well, obviously.
Not inconvenient. Disrespectful. So this has been episode 37 of the You, Me, We podcast. I'm going to go decompress. Woosah.
You're going to go start doing yoga?
Yeah, I'm going to start doing yoga. Raise the pillow up. Put the pillow down on Vicky's face. Raise the pillow up. Put the pillow down on Vicky's face. Hold position. This has been episode 37 of the You, Me, We podcast. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners. Shout out to one of our listeners down in Texas. Oh, remember the name?
Rochelle, I think.
Veronica?
No, it was not Veronica. I'm pretty sure it was like Rochelle.
I apologize if
we're saying your name wrong,
we apologize.
So sorry.
Or saying the complete wrong name. But
it was something like that.
But shout out to you for listening, and
we appreciate.
Thank you very
listening
much
to all our episodes, and that's to everyone. We really do appreciate. So we're back, right?
Yeah. And we'll be back next week. And
keep it a G. Yeah. Why were we recording in the last 2 weeks?
Because we weren't communicating.
Exactly, because we were just crawling under. Like we were doing just a whole bunch of like dances under each other's skins. Like, I mean, it was just bad. It was so annoying.
All right.
Yeah.
We should have a great episode for you guys next week as well. We're gonna have a guest on. So yeah. Thank you. You, Me, We podcast, episode 37.